From MLU headquarters in Philadelphia, this is Cleats and Cufflinks.
Now, let's start off with our first segment. I titled it "How to Have a Great Shareholders Meeting," but we can go deeper than that.
It's kind of a weird title for it, but I think
Why
we
is
can.
that weird?
Hey, it's not. I didn't imagine this being a how-to segment. I didn't plan for that. So if that's what we're doing,
Well, there's lots of parts in there. First of all, let's tell them about our MLU shareholders meeting.
Yeah.
We have to have the most diverse group that we ever would have imagined. 3 shareholders from Italy.
Yep.
Fantastic people. It's just so great to see them. It's Max, Matteo, and Gemma. They're just what's the word? Because like when they walk into the room changes. Like they bring an extra energy, right?
They do. They're very, very intensely into this thing and what they're doing. I mean, they've worked in Ultimate for however many years as a profession, and are just so and inspiring in a lot of ways. Right? And they push too. They're the type of people that want more, want things better, want to hear about everything. I love that.
Yeah, they're fantastically engaged. We have David and Raju, who are just a key piece to everything we do here.
Yep.
And give outstanding perspective on all that we're doing.
Definitely.
So just an awesome group there, if you want to call it that. Our DC guys, who none of them are from DC.
Yeah, that's an odd
I love that.
odd feature of the DC guys.
But Mark Evangelisto and Dan Vogel, just 2 awesome guys.
Boston and Seattle, respectively.
Yeah. But you can always count on them for just actually, they're completely different people. They would know that too.
Wildly.
Like Mark is, people joke and called him the Mark Cuban of the DC Current, but he kind of is. I mean, you attach to him as a manager of it, as a runner, as the president of it or whatever.
Yeah, his personality is really engaging, and he's incredibly emotionally kind of passionate about the team and about the league, and he's that kind of guy. And Dan on the other side is very analytical in a lot of ways, and has been a huge resource for us in terms of project management, communications, all kinds of elements.
And he was teaching us about artificial intelligence with the Mechanical Turk. Were you there for that?
Oh yeah, I was there for a bit of that. Yeah,
that was fun. Dan's smarter than us.
You meant the 2 of us in a combined sense. Yeah.
Like if we were in a boxing ring of smart.
Yep. Yeah.
He would just beat us both up.
Yeah, simultaneously.
So,
yeah.
So I don't like it, but it's good for Dan.
Good for Dan. Good for him.
We also had William Kerb, unfortunately without Nathan.
We missed Nathan.
We missed Nathan because
Nathan, we miss you.
Nathan is one of the first people to ever believe in us and this whole thing, and Will too. And Will's just a really relaxed personality. He's perfect Portland.
Oh yeah.
Even though he lives in Seattle, he's perfect Portland, but he, without fail, always says something that's really good. Like if he speaks up, it's a good nugget.
Oh yeah. No, he's on his game, and just again, in love with this stuff, dedicated. You can't say enough good things about him.
And then we had Rebecca, Ian, and Billy, all out of Philly, who are, they're sweats on everything. They've worked on every possible avenue of everything we've ever done, and always have great things to say. And then there's us.
It was us, the 2 of us.
I didn't miss anybody, did I?
You did, actually.
Who?
We had Tom there, acting as the sort of runner for the meeting, which was I think he did a great job. And Tom is a very loud man, but this is the quietest I've ever heard him.
It was the quietest Tom has ever been. It also makes Raju happy because Tom is 6'8".
Yeah.
And I don't know how tall Raju is, but he's not 6'8".
Not 6'8".
And it makes him so happy how big Tom is.
It does.
It makes me happy how happy it makes everybody else. So I got a bit to brag about the people that we got to spend time with. But when you get a room together of more than one person, you're going to have then communication and how you work and compromise all the things you do are something now you have to focus on. You don't have to compromise with yourself. Now when you get a room of 10, 13 plus people, all passionate, all with an immense amount of skill and experience and education and things, it's important that you are structured and in the way you work, and that you have a way, a good way to work together.
Yeah, and let's not leave out the key component there, which is in any room, when you introduce a component of money, which is what an investor meeting is clearly about at its core, you have a higher level of discussion is going to take place, let's say. So exactly, being prepared, managing the situation well, and having a proper context for your meeting is so important.
Right.
Or you could lose it.
So important steps we took to make sure that this meeting was a hit. Number one, we made an itinerary and an agenda. Everybody knew when to be where and where to go and what we were doing. They knew the topics we were going to discuss and gave a lot of feedback about topics they wanted to discuss. And look, this is an investment meeting. We haven't made $1 billion yet. So this is the things where everyone is digging in, and we're talking about lots of different avenues of the business. So it's not easy, right? I mean, you're not there to just say all that's gone right. That's not the organization we are. We pat ourselves quickly on the things we've done well, and then we focus on all the things we haven't done well.
Yeah.
Because those are the things you have to fix, right? So so we made the agenda, all those things, put all that together, and then we get together, and through each item, we do our best to keep it structured. We say, hey, we're going to spend an hour and a half on this. We spend an hour and a half. And, a big part of my job is to keep it all going so that we can finish what we need to on time. And I'll say it's easy with this group because we're good at it. Everyone knows what they're doing. So
yeah, I think
we've
been working together for long enough now that most of the people in that room have a very good idea of how to work with the other people in there, and they also have a good idea of how we work. They know that if we say it's an hour and a half and we're going to break for 5 minutes and move on to the next topic, that it's going to be an hour and a half. We're going to break for 5 minutes and move on to the next topic.
The other important thing is a common mission for shareholders is extremely important. This is one of the things we talked about when we created the MOU, right? The fact that if you had a collection of teams together and everyone was doing things just for the benefit of their own team, you have some issues.
Yeah.
Because they may say, well, we want Seattle to get this, but San Francisco to get this, and so on and so on. As we sit there together as a group, we're talking about what is best for the league, which means that while your favorite team may be DC, you may see that it would be worth it to put resources in Boston and extra resources because of an opportunity that has arisen or something like that.
Yeah, and this is actually something that we can't understate. The choice to have this as a centrally run league with investors who are invested in the league itself rather than in specific teams really manifests itself when the investors get together and discuss the future of the company and what we're going to do and the sort of priorities we're going to address.
Yeah.
And, everybody leaves their team biases at the door because they aren't team biases, really. In the end, you own the league. And it doesn't matter how well your team doesn't matter if they win a championship. The only thing that matters is the business and the execution of that business. And we have people who are all dedicated to that same mission. And I try to think about what it would be like if we had chosen differently and what that room would be like and how difficult that would be. And it's a small part of the whole thing, but I'm very happy about how much easier that day is, or that 2 days is.
Yeah. Well, it's a big small
when we
part.
Have that.
It's a medium part.
It's a big small part.
I will say, you said they don't leave their. You're right in saying it that way. They don't necessarily leave their bias at the door because it's impossible. But they recognize that the bias doesn't pertain to every aspect.
Right.
They'd say look, I am a Boston guy or DC guy or Philly or whatever they are through and through. However, when presented with a problem, the solution that fits it best, I want to happen.
Yeah.
Even though it may not be for quote unquote my team. It's tough because sports is all about emotion, and it's I love the fact that they're so tied in. Everyone is so tied into their markets and their teams, and we're jealous of it. We admit it.
It does come up.
It's cool because the league is our baby, but I definitely am jealous at times when people are rooting for their team, and I'm like, I don't get to root for the team because this would be a really fun moment.
Yep. I sit at the games and I tell everybody when I get there to the games and the GMs are there and we're talking to them, and I'm like, I'm Just telling you now, I root for whoever's behind.
That's a good point. I like that.
So if you want me cheering for your team, just stay a point or so behind the whole time,
Right.
and you'll have me.
I like that. So, circle back around shareholders meetings. Talking about getting shareholders, that is a totally different thing.
Yeah, that's another topic.
But I will say, if you are starting a business or have any ideas and you want to run it by Nick or I, we would be happy to help you with your business plan or whatever you're doing out there, or any things you're thinking. Luke Ryan is actually in the room right now.
Yeah.
And he has an idea called Feetons.
Yeah, this is a terrible idea.
So we can do a thing on this about why you would never want to create a company called Feetons.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest problem with this, it sounds like whatever Tom Cruise is so upset about.
Or the Thetans.
Thetans. Okay,
Thetans
I'm sorry, I
Thetans.
get confused.
Okay, or Thetans. I don't know what it is.
Fetons.
So we're way off topic.
These are mittens for feet.
Mittens for
That's
feet.
essentially what they
That's what
are.
we
They're
want.
downstairs mittens.
Downstairs mittens.
Yeah.
Okay. But for a meeting, set expectations.
Set expectations.
And you have to be able to control the room in terms of getting through your agenda and itinerary. And if you do it, not everyone's always going to be happy, but everyone will be, respectful of all that happened. And we got lucky in this meeting that everyone was really happy and respectful. But
Yeah, I'll add something else to that. The stuff that often gets forgotten, which Rebecca McClellan did so well for us, is all of the, all right, people have to eat. We got to get sort of breakfast organized, lunch organized. These are 2 full day meetings when we do our investor meetings. It's Saturday and Sunday, pretty much all day. And then you wrap up around dinner time. You go out, you have a nice meal, you hang out and chat. But it's 48 hours of
it's a good point.
So doing the job. So you have to take care of the creature comforts. You got to make sure temperature's right, bathrooms are available.
That's true.
Coffee's hot.
Yeah, we made sure everything looked really nice.
Yeah.
We did a good job.
Right.
And so the lesson there is call up Rebecca and Ian for your shareholders meeting.
They'll take care of it for you.
They'll do all that stuff. So if you have any more questions about running a board meeting, dealing with shareholders, again, you can tweet at us, at Jeff Snader, at Nick Darling, or at Cleats Cufflinks. You can email us at cleatsandcufflinks@mlultimate.com, or you can go to our MySpace page.
Is that still available?
No, I don't know. I don't know if it exists anymore. But if you
I
get
thought
us
it was Friendster.
I knew you were going to say it. Find me on Friendster or classmates.com.
Oh, that was a thing. I forgot about that thing.
They were so close, except they were so far away.
Yep, this did not get there.
So yeah, if that's your business plan for classmates.com, don't just put it in the Feetons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Invest in Feetons.